What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Samson Dauda giving us more sneak peek of how the bag is looking right now at 44 days out of this year's Miss Olympia. So the amount of trash talk that has been directed towards Samson Dauda and his team after he split with his former coach Milos Sarcev, I think Samson took that very personally, and it is kinda great that he is using all that negative energy as a source of extra motivation to push even harder than before and bring his all-time best at this year's Miss Olympia in October. So this is only Samson's third Miss Olympia of his career, and here we are talking about him as a legitimate threat to the Olympia title, and that in itself is one hell of an accomplishment. So Samson did struggle in the beginning of his professional bodybuilding career, but after that Arnold 2022, it was all success for him. And the fact is, we have never seen him this confident before, and not just about his physique, but especially the conditioning that he has this far out of the shoe, and it's literally showing in every physique update that he posts. So majority of the bodybuilding experts believe it is gonna come down between Hardy and Derek once again for this year's first spot, and the latest prediction came from none other than the former 212 champion, Flex Lewis, who by the way is a former rival of both these guys. So Flex appeared on Ron Harris's YouTube channel to talk about this year's Miss Olympia, and he's also one of those guys who believe that Hardy and Derek are just on a different level. But we have seen the judges speak about the fact that if Samson gets truly peeled, he can win the Olympia title. So will that happen this year? Just 6 more weeks to find that out.
And it's just going to go down to them, in my eyes. And there's no disrespect against the other guys. I just think that they're at a little bit of a different level to everybody from third down. And it's going to be who brings that best version. I know it kind of sounds like cliche, right? But well, we can all see. I've been watching both these guys training. Both of them are hungry. Both of them are training hard and heavy. And both of them are zoned in.
Akim Williams also gave us a physique update at about 44 days out of this year's big show. So all his side shots look so damn impressive because the detail that he has on the side of his legs, when that comes into play, he looks absolutely bonkers. So the more shredded Akim gets, the more detail in that side leg is gonna appear. And that is why his side chest and that is why his side tricep, they are one of the best right now. Now quarter turns are just as important as any other poses, because when these guys are first called out on the stage, quarter turns are among the first few poses that these guys are asked to hit, and the judges actually get their first impression from these poses. Now so far we have never seen Akim make top 10 in any of the Miss Olympia predictions for this year, and that is mainly because he isn't one of the most consistent guy when it comes to the conditioning aspect. And for Akim to excel in this kind of deep lineup, he needs to be better than what we saw at this year's Arnold UK, as well as Arnold Ohio prejudging. And I have to say, Akim Williams was just so damn impressive in both these shows. And still he needs to be better than that if he is to crack top 10. So Akim is gonna keep on trying to bring up his back double biceps, because that we all know is his weakest shot. And at this point it is almost confirmed that that is a genetic weakness. And if that were to come up, it would have came up already. So Akim is one of those guys who is really underrated when it comes to the areas like arms. I mean, that guy has one of the biggest set of arms in the current era, and his width is also hard to ignore on the stage. So this is his first time working with Chris Aceto, and so far they have done 3 shows together, and Akim looked really impressive in all 3 of them. How high can Akim place at this year's Miss Olympia? Is he among those guys who can crack top 10 this year?
7 weeks. Tudo bom? Dá pra ficar muito seco em 7 semanas. Deixa um pouquinho mais. There you go.
There we go. The king of the back post.
Yeah.
What a great moment for the pride of Brazil, Rafel Brandao, getting a back workout in with none other than the greatest of all time, Ronnie, and getting that feedback about his current look. With 7 more weeks to go till this year's Miss Olympia, which by the way is only gonna be his second Miss Olympia ever. Now Brandao's team decided not to reveal his physique, but Ronnie seemed extremely impressed with his conditioning right now, and he said that Brandao is gonna be absolutely shredded if he continues to progress at this pace.
All you gotta do is just get some striations in the back and you'll be right there. Get the back a little tighter,
Eu vou falar.
Brabo.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Like I
so
said, you right on the money right now. Just get that back a little bit more straight, and you'll be there.
Yeah.
So he is one of the most aesthetically pleasing looking physique in the men's open bodybuilding right now. And as per Talmanian, who said this after this year's Arnold Classic, that this guy has no weak shots. But the thing is, his biggest weakness, that has always been not being big enough, not having enough size, especially in comparison to the top guys. And I'm afraid even after taking 1 year off, just solely focusing on putting on more size, getting bigger, he still won't be big enough for the top 7 at this year's Mr. Olympia. Now on the other hand, his biggest advantage, that is his age. I mean, that guy is just 31 years old, and that is gonna allow him to have the liberty to continue to get bigger little by little every year, while maintaining his trademark classic lines and his waistline, because that is his biggest strength. So how many years is it gonna take for Rafael to close that size gap? I have to say maybe another 2, but do let me know what you guys think. So we just saw 3 different guys hitting some very heavy T-bar rows this week, and all 3 of them are being considered title contenders for this year's Miss Olympia. Yes, I am talking about Hadi Chopin, Derek Lansford and Andrew Jack. So here we have another former Miss Olympia, Brandon Carey, who isn't gonna be a title contender of course. But the fact is, no one is even considering him for the top 6 this year. But still, all those predictions, all those analysis, that isn't gonna stop him from working hard and putting in the work. So Brandon was spotted going through a very heavy back workout, including that same variation of the heavy T-bar rows. And we all know he is in the Oxygen Gym Kuwait at the moment. So his upper body is rebuilding really damn fast. So Brandon has been training in the O2 gyms for almost 6 weeks now. And these guys are training twice per day. So Brandon was looking extremely impressive weeks before last year's Miss Olympia, although he looked kinda washed out on the stage. But we have to keep in mind, Brandon is one of those guys who needs a lot of food to fill up. And he did not have enough time for that, because he was admitted to the hospital just 2 days before the show. And at one point at the press conference, Bob Ciccarello even announced that he won't be doing this year's Miss Olympia. So people talk about this all the time, that Nick Walker is being disrespected because people are placing him in 5th. So Brandon isn't even making top 6 in these predictions. The question right now is that, can he surprise the world of bodybuilding once again by placing in the top 5? Theo Leguerrier was the first athlete to qualify for this year's Miss Olympia by winning Japan Pro last year. So Samson won the first 2 shows after the Olympia, Romania and Prague. But the fact is he's a top 3 Olympian, so he was already qualified. So 7 weeks out physique updates of Theo were released today, in which he looks to be in a crazy condition. So this is gonna be Theo's 3rd consecutive Miss Olympia, which in itself is a big deal. That is a huge accomplishment. Any athlete that is able to qualify for the Olympia not once, but multiple times, that is undoubtedly one of the best in the bodybuilding world. But fact of the matter is, he isn't gonna be fighting for those top 10 spots, because the lineup is just so damn deep this time, especially the first 10 places. So Theo had more time to work on his weaknesses than most of these guys out there, because he had a longer uninterrupted off season. So we are expecting to see some major improvements and some major size difference on him this time, especially in comparison to last year. So he's a bodybuilder who looks very impressive standing all by himself. He is one of the driest and the most straight guy as well. But the thing is, he doesn't have that wow factor to stand out on the stage, especially at the Olympia level. We saw that last year as well in the European tour, when he was competing against the likes of Nathan D'Asia and Regan Grimes. But this is most definitely gonna be a bigger version of Theo Leguerrier. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.